Now on Nightbeat, President Trump doubling down on his threat to send detained immigrants to sanctuary cities. The fiery responses tonight from local leaders in the Bay Area. Good evening. I'm Ken Bastida. Tonight, President Trump is strongly considering releasing immigrants into sanctuary cities like San Francisco, suggesting that it could punish Democrats who oppose his border wall. Nightbeat's Betty Yu live with the pushback to the president's threat. Betty?
Ken, San Francisco is one of the most high-profile sanctuary cities in the state. Today, Mayor London Breed called his plan a distraction and dismissed it as a scare tactic.
California certainly is always saying, oh, we want more people, and they want more people in their sanctuary cities. Well, we'll give them more people. We can give them a lot. We can give them an unlimited supply.
Governor Gavin Newsom fired back at the president's plan.
It's illegal. It's immoral, it's unethical, it's sophomoric, it's petulant, and it's par for the course.
So did Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf.
The idea that this administration could use human beings, families, children, to exact political vengeance on enemies is outrageous.
Sanctuary cities that get Americans killed.
UC Hastings law professor Hadar Aviram says busing migrants from the border to other cities raises legal and practical questions. But ultimately, she believes Trump is playing to his base ahead of 2020.
By all means, let the immigrants come, and who knows, maybe one of the kids of these families seeking asylum is going to grow up to be the next Steve Jobs. That's not the issue. The issue is, why are you taking these people in buses over here just to prove a point?
She says sanctuary cities embrace immigrants, but these people are being used as political pawns.
Well, I think it would just be incredibly inefficient. Like, it wouldn't work. I mean, there are bigger issues going on at the border that need to be handled.
I would be curious to see it happen. My hope would be that we would, as a city, come together and prove him wrong, that we would rally and show that we are a welcoming place.
San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo says that his city is already made up of 40% immigrants, and we would happily accept any family that has struggled and risked so much to be a part of this country. On the Nightbeat, I'm Betty Yu.
Now tonight, California close to banning those little bottles of shampoo and such that you get in hotel rooms. Nightbeat's Len Ramirez joins us now live from San Jose to tell us why. Len?
Well, Ken, just think about it. Those little bottles get used once, and then they often just get thrown away, and they could end up in the bay, in the ocean, or in the waste stream. And so that is why a bill is now working its way through Sacramento that could ban them in California. The brand new little bottles of shampoo or lotion are a nice touch when you stay at a hotel, but they're wasteful.
California alone used hundreds of millions of single-use plastic bottles of lotion, shampoo, conditioner that they give to their customers all throughout the year.
Assemblymember Ash Kalra is co-authoring a bill that would ban the small plastic bottles at almost 10,000 hotels statewide.
That's hundreds of millions of single-use plastic that we can get out of not just our waste stream, but the production of the plastic itself is really bad for the environment. It's not something that necessarily has to be given to customers. There's certainly something that folks are used to, but I think that people will become accustomed to having dispensers.
Last year, Santa Cruz County became the first jurisdiction in California to ban the small plastic bottles.
We know that this is a significant step forward in making sure that these plastics don't end up in the bay, which is one of the major sources of pollution in the bay.
And that bill just passed its first committee in Sacramento. It's got one more committee, and then it could be coming to the floor of the Assembly. I'm Len Ramirez on the Nightbeat.
Well, it turns out a bogus bomb threat called into a Bay Area school was a case of a wrong number. Yesterday, students were sent home from the Wilkinson School in El Granada, but sheriff deputies are now telling us a 15-year-old girl in Mississippi actually meant to call in a threat to her own school with a similar name, thousands of miles away. Students in El Granada were sent home while the high school was thoroughly searched. Of course, nothing suspicious was found. Also tonight, the family of a woman murdered on a BART platform is now suing the agency, and money is not all they're after. In court documents, the plaintiffs contend that had BART taken adequate measures to prevent fare evaders from entering BART stations, platforms, or trains, Nia Wilson would not have died. Wilson and her two sisters were at the MacArthur BART station last summer when investigators say a serial fare evader, John Lee Cowell, suddenly attacked them, stabbing Wilson in the neck and killing her. BART had this response tonight, quote, "We continue to express their deepest condolences to the friends and family of Nia Wilson, but do not comment on potential or pending litigation." Pretty wild scene inside a North Bay camera shop. Robbers bust in, but the employees, they fight back. They don't back down. The trouble started yesterday afternoon at the Shutterbug camera shop on Santa Rosa Avenue. Right away, Nightbeat's Don Ford says the employees knew something wasn't right.
3 people came in here, started grabbing things off the shelf to rob the store. Situation didn't end up the way they thought it would. It was a normal day, until it wasn't. Employees knew something was up when the robbers entered the store wearing backpacks backwards. Sure enough,
he had a backpack on backwards, so he was grabbing lenses and sticking them into his backpack.
And we all came out and we managed to catch 2 of the guys before they could get away.
It's a dramatic scene. Bad guys fighting to escape, employees locking the door, calling police, slamming the robbers to the floor. Scott Manchester was on the phone with 911 when suddenly things took an unexpected turn.
He's like, "Is it armed robbery?" And I go, "I don't think so." Then all of a sudden someone yelled, "There's a gun." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, armed robbery."
And then during that struggle, there was actually a loaded 9mm handgun that one of the suspects dropped onto the floor of the business.
Employees say the gun may have fallen out of a backpack. It was quickly grabbed up and secured away from the robbers. Owner Mike Paschke says it wasn't easy holding them down.
And they gave us a hard time.
They gave you guys a hard time.
Right, yeah. I got bit.
You got bit?
I got bit. It's all bandaged up. They want to
Oh, you're right. There's the bandage. They bit you on the arm.
Bit me through and punctured the skin, so.
Of the 3 robbers, 2 are in jail and 1 got away for now. Police say they have good leads on the 3rd.
One man is facing charges tonight for setting off a homemade rocket. San Francisco police got calls about an explosion on Leavenworth 8 days ago. Wednesday, they arrested a suspect at Webster and Bush Streets. Police searched Scott Campbell's home and found rocket building materials. He's being held on explosives charges and an outstanding DUI warrant. Police say witnesses to the rocket blast helped identify Campbell. This weekend, expect to see more surfers in the waters near Santa Cruz. Nightbeat's Alan Martin on the program that's teaching wounded veterans how to ride the waves.
The Beach Boys sang, "Catch a wave and you're sitting on top of the world." Well, for an injured Army soldier like Ronald Knowles, we have no idea.
I just felt normal being out there.
Normal isn't something Ronald has felt since his motorcycle accident 2 years ago.
Before my accident, I consider myself to be very active. I love being able to, be outside and do all kinds of recreational type stuff.
Today, in the sun and crashing waves of Santa Cruz, the nonprofit Operation Surf is helping Ronald and about a dozen other wounded veterans and active duty military feel the restorative power of the ocean, as well as the group support team of volunteers out on the water.
Coming together as a unit out in the water, everybody's on the same playing field. Injuries don't matter, stresses don't matter, anxiety doesn't matter. It's just you're there, you're in the moment, and you're surrounded by people who are going to keep you safe.
Safety being key, considering every one of the vets has never surfed before.
Everyone is so willing to, be there for you and kind of cheer you on and get some good laughs out of it too.
David Simmons is an Operation Surf volunteer.
Introducing them to the water and helping them, recover from injury and to find themselves through the ocean. I just thought it was a fantastic cause and something that I really wanted to be a part of.
For Ronald, it's a chance to leave worry back on shore.
I really enjoyed it. Wasn't thinking too much about my injuries and just enjoying the water. It was great.
On the Nightbeat, I'm Alan Martin.
Operation Surf is a week-long program. Hotel and travel all paid for with donations.